Hi, I'm Sarah. Welcome back to my channel where I talk about my journey to sustainable health and meaningful success. If you're coming back and you've already subscribed, welcome back. Y'all are my people and I love you so much. And if you're new, I hope you will consider subscribing by the end of this video. Today we are reacting to an Amway Ltd audio titled Fanatical Commitment and How to Win. This is like a generic audio where it's just hype and it's just like, this is how you win and you have to be fanatical and this is why we're here. This is what we play for, you know. And so I wanted to react to it to kind of just give you an idea of like what a generic talk looks like. Because a lot of the audios that I have reacted to have a very specific point or like are shady in a very specific way. But this is just kind of like a general MLM hype audio that's like, yikes.
It's time to go diamond. It's time to remember what we're all about, and that's about setting the captives free. Amen? Our first weekend changed my whole life, folks.
Okay, so this phrase, setting the captives free, I'm going to address this right now because he says it a lot in this audio. Setting the captives free is a very religious term. It's a very Christian term, like Jesus came to set the captives free. Yeah, so, we've already talked about a lot of the religious language and manipulation in Amway. I might link some videos down below if you want to check that out specifically, but just kind of pointing this out that he's talking about, we're all about setting the captives free. Free from what? Free from their jobs. But then he asks, amen, which is like, yo, we're not in church unless the God that you're serving is money. That's how I feel about it. So stop using religious languages religious language and basically treating this like a sermon, saying that we're here to set the captives free, when this is supposed to be a business conference and what your goal is to get money and you just don't want to work a job. And that's what you want to get free from.
I love what Tim Yoakley was just up here saying. What do? We build teams. We build teams. And there's a foundation of those teams. It's you. And so all you success stories, we're so very, very proud of you guys.
They build teams. They don't sell products. They build teams. And the foundation of that team is you. It's not about Amway. It's not about the products. They're not trying to find qualified customers. The teams is what they build. That's what they do. And the foundation of that is you buying your own products and being the foundation of the pyramid scheme and being the 99% of MLMs that lose money. So never a truer statement was made.
Thank you for stepping up, because you know what it does? It makes us feel good about what we do and why we go so hard. I'm going to tell you, sometimes when we're up here, I feel like Gideon. I feel like I'm the least of my tribe. There's some hog nasty.
Gideon is a biblical reference, just if we're keeping score of how many religious references he makes.
Rich people over here. I mean, there's a lot of wealth that's created through this Amway business. I was literally looking at some of these pictures, and I saw a picture where Larry and Pam were literally talking about all of the money that the LTD team had received in just year-end bonuses. In just year-end bonuses, it was over $2 million. You see, team, somebody said it about Larry and Pam's business. This is one of the greatest Amway teams. LTD is one of the greatest Amway teams in all of North America and the world, folks. And so you know what? Jake's a simpleton. But what matters to me is that you receive that. That you understand that you're part of this. You're part of this environment. I believe when you...
Also wanted to point out that he uses a lot of self-deprecation in order to make himself seem more relatable. And this happens with a lot of Amway Ltd speakers. We've probably heard this a lot from like Larry Winters, who's, I was just a car wash employee, folks. There was nothing special about me, gang. And it's the same thing with him. It's like, Jake's a simpleton. Like, I don't know. It just, take it as you want to, but it's trying to build rapport with the crowd that it's like, I'm relatable. Of course, we made $2 million or over $2 million in year-end bonuses alone, and this is the LTD team winning, but the majority of the people in that audience didn't see a cent of that money because they were the people who were paying money into Amway to try to succeed in an MLM, which is a losing game, my friends.
I believe when you start to receive that, you start to understand that what you do, showing that plan, it matters. It's a 2 to 5 year action plan. Amen? Let me say action. Man, Mayak hit on that as well. I was literally sitting over there and I'm like, well, scratch that, scratch that, scratch that. And it's Friday night. So many secrets, so many nuggets have already been given to you guys. What are you going to do with it when you leave here? I say it a lot.
Do you want to know a secret? You're all going to fail.
But I think one weekend with this team should change your whole entire future. It did for us. Jackie didn't even come to our very first weekend. I went by myself. And I'm going to tell you, I was radically changed when I got home on Sunday night. And literally, she couldn't believe it. I mean, my background's kind of wild. I grew up selling dope for a living. Used to be kind of nuts. But I got better. Oh, just popped my button. How about that? Got a lot of neck muscles. One weekend with this LTD team changed my whole future. And so we'll talk about that. I want you to write these down for me and we're going to rock and roll. You ready? Thought process and commitments. Thought process and commitments. Let me hear you say that. Thought process and commitments. When I got around this diamond team, I realized, you know what? Jake doesn't think the way they do. I would live just for the weekend. Just let me get to Friday. Just let me make enough money to pay my bills and get to Friday. And man, we got to this weekend and you've already heard it. Boy, these people, they talk about living for a cause and a purpose. So very different than everybody I was around. I'll probably say this a couple times tonight, but you know what? Easy. I get fired up knowing that there's a purpose bigger than your stinking Monday to Friday job. How many people are you going to help set free working your job? We were recently in Orlando, Florida, showing the plan. And one of the young girls there is jacked about her business. She literally said, I've worked here a year and a half and I got a 39-cent raise. I said, you did what?
At least she's making money. I'm not the one. This isn't the day. I don't know. I'm sorry. I've been in a funk. If you saw Sunday's video, which I'm filming today as well, it explains more. But no. What is this bigger purpose that they're talking about? I'd really like to know. And this is actually something that I'm just, at this point, I'm approaching it with an attitude of curiosity. Setting the captives free from what? You use a lot of religious undertones or a lot of religious language, but then you also talk more about, I haven't had a job in however many years. We're setting the captives free because of having a job, of working and getting money in return, but setting the captives free, we're all just like slaves to our job. Is that what you're saying? Because it just, especially from someone who has like a more religious background. It just, the gray area, or the way that they mix all of the language, the manipulation, it just, man, it gets under my skin. It gets under my skin, and he's trying to be all emotional. He has to take a pause to talk about a waitress who got a raise in her regular paycheck, that she makes money every single week for a job well done. Oh my gosh. Like, really? Is that really the problems that you have right now? Or the problems that people have is that they have jobs, that they can earn a living and feed their families, spend time with their families, maybe do a job that they're passionate about. What is this setting the captives free? I'm just genuinely confused at this point, which is really, I'm going to have to do some self-reflection on that, because why did I buy any of this? I'm sorry. Let's not be self-deprecating, okay? Sarah was in a very vulnerable place for 2.5 years. She was manipulated, we have forgiveness and grace on Sarah and all of the other people watching this who bought into this bullshit. However, retrospectively, hindsight, how did this make sense? How did it make sense? I'm sorry, this video might just be a bunch of sass and not much content. I don't know.
She said, I've been working here 1.5 years and I got a 39-cent raise. I'm kind of a simpleton, but I love numbers. I said, do you realize that's $9 a week?
At least she's making money.
You work 40 hours, you just got a $9 a week raise. I said, if you drink coffee and you go to Starbucks, you can get 2 more Starbucks a week. I said, that raise they just gave you, they never even helped you get out of survival mode. And by God, that's the way we came to our first weekend. When I went to our second weekend, it was Jackie's first. We were in survival mode. Boy, we looked good. I mean, we had okay jobs, made good money. And I spent about an average of $8,000 to $10,000 more a year than what we made, because I had credit cards. How about you? This business is about...
So the problem that he just described is lack of financial discipline. Right? Am I wrong about this? There are certain things, there are certain circumstances that legitimately the income that is coming in is not enough to pay bills and live off of. I am not talking about the people who don't make a living wage. That's because if you don't even make enough in your job to pay your own living expenses, then you have absolutely no business, pun intended, not intended, I don't know. No, you have no business getting into a company like this and trying to get rich quick. And purchasing your own products is going to take a bigger hit on your finances, and that's not an investment in your business. And the fact that there are people who, a lot of people within these businesses have no shame in trying to recruit people who barely make enough money to pay their bills. I mean, even just from my own personal example, when I sat down with my upline to do our final budgeting session before I ended up leaving, I had $30 of discretionary spending, and that wasn't even enough to cover a doctor's appointment. So they have no issues with working with people who barely can actually support themselves as adults or support their children. I reacted to an audio where my upline Platinum sent out a recording that obviously the person who was on the other end of the line didn't consent to himself being recorded, but my upline sent out that recording anyway of his conversation with this gentleman who he was a single father and he was working at a Steak and Shake, which is not fast food, because I don't think they have a drive-through, but it's not like a really upper end kind of restaurant, Steak and Shake in the US. So they have no issues with trying to get people to purchase their products when they're barely trying to live. So then talking about this situation where it's like you have credit card debt because maybe you weren't disciplined in your finances, then there are other solutions to that than joining a pyramid scheme. If you need to increase your income, there are other solutions to that than paying most of your income towards a pyramid scheme and hoping that eventually you'll get rich. And, maybe your creditors and like all of your other responsibilities and your rent and your bills can just hang on until you finally make your quick buck in Amway. It's just, the logic is not there. It's not present. It didn't show up today.
I'm going to have Jackie talk to you because I am fired up. I believe your why, eventually, gang, it ought to come from your core values. And I said it earlier, I'm very, very passionate about setting the captives free. I love this country. I love the freedoms that we have. Larry used to say it all the time, we're one generation away from losing it. And this is spring leadership. So this is supposed to be a leadership. This ought to just stretch the fool out of you. Amen? When I got around this team, I'd never been around people like this, with this kind of character. Man, selling dope for a living, you don't run into a lot of stand-up people. Amen? Can you imagine that? Literally, by the time I'd gotten out of the Marine Corps, I went in the Marine Corps because I had felonies against me. By the time I got out of the Marine Corps, I still was kind of a crazy man, biker, doing kind of stupid stuff, snorting coke 3 nights a week, drinking every night, calling my wife the old lady. I remember the first time I got a chance to get around Larry, and I said, Larry, my old lady ain't excited about this business. His head snapped around like stinking The Exorcist. He said, what'd you say? I said my old lady ain't excited about this business. He said, when's the last time you treated her like a queen? What? He said, when's the last time you treated her like a queen? It's probably been a while. Then he said the weirdest, this is nuts. Listen to this, gentlemen. He said, when's the last time you sent your wife flowers or went out on a date? We're already married. That's literally what I said. And you know what? I don't think he meant to say this, but he literally said, I gotta work depth fast. I gotta work depth. But you know what? There's some people in this arena that, you know what? It don't matter how many no's you get. You're not going to quit. You're going to get the job done and sit over here. Amen?
Wow, this is like, that was a lot of whiplash. It's like, he's talking about quality, the quality of the people in the group, and then all of a sudden it's like, but there's a lot of people there who will do whatever it takes and accept all the no's in order to be able to sit over here. Every time he says sit over here, he's talking about the VIP section of all the, people who actually make money. It's a very small section because it's 1% of like the whole group. So it's a very exclusive section, but he's talking about, sitting in the very small spot in the auditorium / stadium that of the people who actually make money. But yeah, he is talking about how you have to like the quality of the people in the business, and I just wanted to take a moment and let you know that there are respectful and positive people outside of the Amway Ltd business. In fact, I would argue that you will find more respectful and like honest and decent people outside of this business group. Basically, if you've heard any of the audios where they talk about marriage and they talk about female and male roles, you will find a lot more respect for women outside of this business group. Let me assure you that.
There ain't nobody that's big enough to take your dream from you. You have to give it away, folks. And so it's yours. Hope I'm not shouting at you. I'm just fired up. I'm fired up about this environment.
Will you just let your wife talk? You said that like 5 minutes ago.
I was in 1992 when I saw Danny Snipes go from 300 and some people to 700 and some people in 3 months. Can you imagine being in an open meeting where they add 70 chairs a week? Can you imagine? Larry and Pam Winters, this is Winter Spring Leadership. You guys understand there's another one next weekend? You understand that? On the Markowitz team? So we're fired up, man. We're jacked that you're here, that you overcame everything that you needed to overcome to get here. Just understand that you're in a room here of people that are starting to learn how to overcome. So anyway, let me see what I got here. Oh yeah, vitals. We're registered by Campbell and Beth Haig. I said that, okay. I'm going to let Jackie talk to you because you know what? We do this business together. We are totally 110% sold out and on fire.
Just let her talk.
I told somebody recently that, you know what? I just got my second win. I'm ready to rock and roll. It always blows my mind. You guys got all those names for the young people, millennials, and they're the X, Y, Z, whatever it is.
He's still talking.
Mayak talking about, he doesn't believe that generation's lazy. I don't either. I believe you're bored. I believe you just go to a second job and make a little bit of money and you just don't have enough to live a lifestyle that you really want.
Wow.
This weekend, that changes. So, here's what we're going to do. We'll close this Hummer out. Sorry I went too long, but we're going to close this Hummer out for you, gang. And honestly, this is just Friday night. I promise you, by the end of this thing, you're going to be like, oh my God, that went by so fast. This is just Friday night. Tomorrow, you are going to get some great teaching from the Emeralds. I'm jacked about Matthew and Eva Pesamente talking about structure yields results. Matthew, you better bring it, boy. My team's in here. Right? Don't mess it up or I'll come to your city. We're going to show you some pictures, and honestly, we are one of the diamonds, but you got legacy diamonds over here. Danny and Renata Snipes, 20 plus years of diamond lifestyle.
This audio is aging me so hard. He is still talking. We are 21 minutes into the audio, and he is still talking. He has not let his wife. This is an hour-long audio, and he has been introducing his wife, bringing his wife up to speak for the past 10 minutes. He just won't shut up. And so wow, oh my God, I'm so bored.
Larry and Pam Winters, 28 years? She doesn't know. Yeah, it's like, I think Sajal said it, or no, it was Mia Ayers said, after 10 years, how do you remember stuff? You've got people over here, gang, that their lifestyle is just, I don't know that there's many people in the world that have the kind of lifestyle Larry and Pam Winters have. And they're here this weekend for you. So we are going to show you some pictures, but I need to preface it for you. You ready? Every bit of it comes from this business. Yeah, I know this is going to shock you. Jake doesn't know a lot about stocks and bonds and stuff. I don't do any of that stuff. Every bit of it comes from this business. I'll go ahead and throw this out there to you. Emeralds, let me talk to you for just a second here. It's spring leadership. We say this so many times at team meetings, but a double-minded man is unstable in all his ways.
Another religious reference. Let's just call that out. Also, all of it comes from this business. I don't know exactly what he means by that, because if you're talking about Amway, that's a straight up lie. His lifestyle and the money that they make is not just from Amway. It's like, at least, you know, they don't give income disclosure statements for this, so I actually can't say any definitive number of what their income is. But from what I have heard, and from like whatever sources I have, which I don't know if I could say are like entirely reliable, I'm not sure, but actually, if you check out the Scott Johnson radio show, he does a lot more in-depth explanation of what these tool scams are. But LTD charges $90 a month for an audio subscription where you can get 7 audio credits. 7. Of these recorded talks that you already went to the conference and listened to it in person, and then you have to pay $90 a month to get the audio credits for that. And then they have books and everything that they sell at full price, and they make money off of that. All of the LTD speakers make money off of that. So if he's saying all of his wealth and lifestyle comes from the Amway business, that's not true. It's just not true. He makes money from LTD as well. And from what I heard, even my upline platinum, which is like kind of the lowest pin that you can hit, they make half of their income. It's like, it's a comparable amount from Amway income and LTD income. So it just kind of seems shady that that's what he's saying.
You know, LTD is all about breaking diamonds. And boy, we are committed to that. We're jacked about what this business opportunity has done for our family. So we're going to show you some pictures. And every bit of it is because of what this LTD team taught us. So just so I don't get real emotional, I'll just go ahead and tell you guys thank you. Not you, them. I know you did your 100. It's awesome. But the LTD Diamonds taught us how to win. Amen?
That's an irksome statement. Like, sorry, I don't want this to dry. That's an irksome statement, the fact that he's saying that, you know, it's not you. It's not the large amount of crowds that did 100 PV. That's $300 at least for their product sales. I know you paid $300 a month for your products, but I'm not thanking you, even though I make all of my money off of you. I'm edifying my upline because they taught us everything they knew about scamming people. They taught us everything that they know about scamming suckers like you. So I'm not thanking you, but thanks for doing your $300 a month of PV, of volume. But no, I'm thanking my upline for teaching me how to scam all of you sorry people.
One of McGrath's downline, don't worry about it. So anyway, I love you, babes.
23 minutes in.
Breaking diamonds.
Finally maybe talking.
Part of this LTD system. It's all about setting the captives free. How many of you want to be free? Here's the best thing I can give you. It's my lovely wife, Jackie Baker.
Well, thank you. So, yeah, Jake's going to start our little slideshow. But, you know, I want to just, play off of what he said. You know, we were taught from the very beginning from the best. We did. We had Larry and Pam winners every Tuesday night. Every Tuesday night. Showing the plan, great jokes. I'm telling you, that peanut joke he had was just one of the best jokes ever, and it never got old. Just something about sucking the chocolate off and then eating the peanuts was just, it'd get you every week. But, and then the attitude session, and so, we learned wealth mentality, and from this team, from the team of leaders rising up in the Raleigh info session, and, one of the things we learned that 80% commitment, 99% commitment is not going to cut it. You heard it on stage. The person was doing 8 of the 19 player steps, but without the 9, he wasn't going to get traction. Nothing was really going to happen. commitment to this business is it's going to be everything. Both feet in, all in, every day. It is a 2 to 5 year plan. A 2 to 5 year plan of you being sold out to those 19 player steps every day for 2 to 5 years. I don't know what else out in the marketplace can offer you, what this business can offer you in 2 to 5 years if you're willing to do that. So 100% commitment is what it's going to take. But it's going to result in a fanatical lifestyle, fanatical friendships, fanatical environments, fanatical families. Man, I hope by Sunday it gets through those 12 inches or whatever, how many inches, 6 inches, 8 inches, how big is the skull? Anyway, you get the point. You know, Jake is famous for showing, are you going to click for me?
Yeah, here. Are you ready?
Oh, great. Jake is famous for saying that everything rises and falls on leadership. But without your ability to lead yourself, there is no leadership. And the other day I was thinking about that, thinking about how we were taught to build our business and how we did build our business. And you know, I came up with the 642, only I inverted it, because the actual fact is the 642 must be built with you initially. You must be the foundation of your business. That personal circle, the strength of that personal circle will determine whether you go diamond or not, because that 100% commitment comes from that personal circle. Because just like Tim Yoakley said up here, if that gentleman didn't find those two great IBOs, he'd have found somebody else, because the commitment resides and lives and breathes and does inside of that you circle. That's why Larry Winters 101, your business never relies on any one person. It's the you in the circle that your business relies on. And man, if you can get that this weekend, you've gone diamond. So, you know, you're not the IBOs. We've seen this on our team. We know this exists, where somebody gets registered and they register a few people, and they're at the top looking down going, well, when that person buys a product, I'll buy a product. When that person shows the plan, I'll show the plan. When that person fills the pipeline, I'll fill the pipeline. When that person reads, I'll read. That is not leadership, and that's not how this puppy works. And that's not how you get on stage, and that's not how you get those big checks. It starts with you.
So I want to explain this concept of the personal circle, because there's not really a visual that you might have a reference for. But when they show the plan, first of all, they don't show the plan in like a triangle. They don't say this is you and this is your downline and this is their downline and their downline after that, because it's a little bit too on the nose. That it's a pyramid scheme. So what they do is they draw a diagram a different way, is where it's like, this is you, and you sponsor these, 6 people, and then these 6 people sponsor 4 people, and then these people getting out of the camera frame, and then these people sponsor 2 people, and they draw circles to represent the people in the business. So it starts with your personal circle and it expands out in like a circle type way, because it can't expand, like they don't want to draw it that it expands down. But that's what it is. It's just the visual, they don't want to be too obvious about it. So the personal circle means when they're drawing this out, they're drawing it in terms of volume with product sales. So your personal circle is you are doing 100 or 150 points of volume per month, and then you sponsor other people, and those people also do their volume. And as we have covered in several different audios, the volume rarely comes from customer sales. It most often comes from the business owners buying their own products to meet the product quotas. So what she's saying about starting with your personal circle, so that, when you sponsor other people, they can do their personal circle, it's all about purchasing your own products. So what she's saying is that instead of sponsoring people and hoping that they will buy their own products and then you'll buy your own products, you have to start the business by buying your own products and being that example leader of reading the books and getting really all in before you even see a lick of money or success. You have to put yourself all in. So that is the mentality that keeps people like myself for 2.5 years in the business, not really seeing any money coming back, but continuing to invest money into my business, continuing to keep up my personal circle of 150 PV. So spending between $400 and $600 a month on Amway products, and then another $90 a month with Amway subscriptions, and then another $150 every quarter for, just the conference tickets and books. So, yeah.
Because today I am willing to do what others won't, tomorrow I will live like others can't. That was a direct promise from Pam Winters to me. And Mary Beth and Renata and Susan, man, they were all pouring into me. There was times I was working full time. I was tired, ladies. I'm a mom and pregnant. It seems like I was always pregnant, working 40 hours a week, an hour to work, and an hour to get home. It's gone 12 hours a day. And man, I would put in an audio. I put in actually a cassette tape, really, of Larry and Pam's Emerald Rally, and listening to Pam and her work ethic. Man, I'd listen to that and go, I can do it. I can dig in a little more. That's why you need to listen to audios. That's why you need this system. And man, then I would listen to Susan Bundy talk about what she had to go through, leaving that 0 dark 30, leaving her kids in bed to go open up her restaurant, to come back, to get them to school, to build this business. And I mean, she slept 2 hours a night. I don't even know she slept 2 hours. And then to listen to an audio that came out, Diamond Winning Woman by Lori Taylor. Are you kidding me? I just fed myself on these stories that would empower me, that my physical tiredness is not going to last forever if I keep building this business. And so I love that picture. Gotta go. Flip it. Flip it. Remember that?
Interesting. Weird. That she's talking about, they slept 2 hours a night and your physical tiredness won't last forever. And, you just have to keep pushing. And this is, we've heard it a lot, and this is very indicative of the whole culture of this business, but it's proven by even my own story. But unfortunately, you can run yourself into the ground. I have told my story of totaling a vehicle because I fell asleep behind the wheel, which that story could have ended a lot more tragically, very quickly. And I also have told my own story about how I started losing hair and just physically deteriorating because of the stress of everything. So yeah, your physical tiredness, it's not just an inconvenience. If you don't take care of yourself for a prolonged period of time, you will start having some very, very difficult effects from that. And some of it will cause irreparable damage, and some of it will possibly endanger your life. So this is not something that you just flippantly say, just sacrifice everything, sacrifice your health, and eventually you'll be able to pay all the doctors to fix you up again once you got rich in this business. Well, that's just not how this works, especially because only 1% of the people will end up making money to even have the chance of, recovering from that amount of physical stress that you put on your body to try to build this business.
Remember that, Pam?
Oh, yeah, baby.
There we are. Talk about getting real. I know, it's hilarious, isn't it? I love this picture. That is us as brand new silvers. And I chose that picture not because of my fashion statement. Obviously, I should not be allowed to pick out my own clothes, which is why today I have a buyer. I didn't even buy this. I got other people buying me clothes because they can't be trusted. But anyway, the point is that is us at silver. But don't look at the neck down. Look at our faces. Look at the belief in our faces. That's hope. because we were focused and we only allowed one person to have the input. We handed our keyboard to our upline and our trusted crossline leaders, and we allowed them to type on our keyboard that put stuff into our brain. And man, thank God we didn't have social media. We just listened to the people that were ahead of us.
Yeah, I think Jackie maybe said it, but that's a dress that she went to Goodwill and got. We were going to be recognized as brand new 7500s, but I needed all of our money for our business. I had sold my Harley by then. I used it for $5,000 worth of tools.
Yep, every
because
bit of it.
you know what? We were going to go silver, platinum, ruby, emerald, and diamond. And you know what? I remember Larry Winters used to say it all the time. You'll get every bit of that back, Jake, with just one diamond bonus.
So they're a platinum. They're about to be recognized as platinum, and they're still not able to afford a dress. They have to buy a dress from Goodwill because they're putting all their money into the business. They're reinvesting all of the money into their business. I understand this worked out for this couple. This one couple. I understand that there's anecdotal stories of this working out for people, but do you hear the fact that this is somebody who they already have made 7,500 points per month in the business? They already have a sizable group, and even they are still paying more money than they can really afford to the business. They're paying money into the business still. They're paying money into LTD to buy tools, to buy books and audio tapes. So they're still paying money into the pyramid scheme even as they are earning money. That money is going right back into the pyramid. It's insane. It kind of blows my mind. What person needs to buy $1,200 worth of shampoo? How much hair must they have? You know what I mean?
We're going to break diamonds. LTD team. If we're going to break diamonds, we've got to be fanatical. We've got to be just radical about this deal.
My father was in World War II. Jake's fathers had a few. That's another story. We're all in World War II, and we're very passionate about freedom. We know the cost not that long ago that was paid for this nation to be free. Most of us would be speaking, well, all of us would be speaking German if it was this close. And so we're very thankful, and we're doing a National Geographic expedition. Only 25 people in the world get to go. It's a lot of money, and we are actually going to arrive on the Normandy beaches on D-Day. We are going to see St. Mary-Église. We are going to see where our brave men and English and the French fought life like there is yours, and I hope you'll take your place in history right now and make a better future for your family. Thankful about where we came from. I do know my history because what I do matters, because there's a future attached after my life like there is yours, and I hope you'll take your place in history right now and make a better future for your family.
3,000 men died. 3,000 men died. 3,000 men died in less than 6 hours so that we could be a free nation. And we have to take a no. We have to filter somebody that says, I'm not sure, what's this all about? Let's put this thing in perspective, folks. You got a team to help you. Let's get after it.
Let's really put this in perspective. Did he really just compare the Battle of Normandy and fighting in world wars in order to preserve the life and liberty of the American people and people across the world to building an Amway business so you don't have to have a 9-to-5 job, so you don't have to go to an office and earn a living? It just, maybe you're not really offended by the religious blasphemy, but I feel like to compare people who've died in actual wars to then taking your place in history by going out and trying to recruit people to your pyramid scheme, let me know in the comments below exactly how that makes you feel. because I'm disgusted.
I'm going to wrap it up. Your life matters. These emeralds, the platinums, these success stories that were just up here, they all fought tooth and nail to help you overcome whatever it was for you to get here. Let's make it count. Larry and Pam Winters didn't know anybody in that picture except Mike and Susan Bundy when they got their business started. Larry Winters sponsored 8 people in his first week, and 7 of them quit the next week. What would you have done? One of the top businesses in the entire world in Amway. You get to hear from them this weekend. Let's pay honor to this system. Let's pay honor to Larry and Pam Winters, and let's set the captives free. God bless you. Get ready for tomorrow.
For existing IBOs only, not for use with prospects. The success depicted in this profile may reflect income from sources other than Amway, such as earnings from the sale of training and education materials or other businesses and investments. While the techniques and approaches suggested have worked for others, no one can guarantee that these techniques and approaches will work for you. In addition, we want to emphasize that success in this business does not come without hard work.
So, just to set the record straight, if you are not putting your life on the line in an actual physical way, whether be working in the medical field at this point or, like actually feeling like you're putting your life at risk, don't compare what you do to people who actually put everything on the line. Just don't do it. It's so classless. Just don't do it. I agree, your life does matter. Your life matters tremendously. And it doesn't matter how much money you make or really how you make your money. Your life still matters. You are worth a great deal of time and effort and unconditional love. You do not have to find it within a group that is going to require you to give up everything that is dear to you in order to succeed within that environment. You don't have to pay money toward a pyramid scheme in order to be loved. Love is out there and it's free. And you don't have to sacrifice yourself or your well-being, your health, your financial health, any of that, in order to be deserving of love and community and respect and dignity. There are better ways to make money. There are more effective ways to make money. There are more honest ways to make money. And also, money is not everything in success. You can work a 9-to-5 job and not be a captive and not be a prisoner or a slave to your paycheck. Working for a living, earning your keep, laboring on this earth that's kind of life. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm not trying to get all preachy or anything like that, but there's just so much mentality within this audio that's like basically you're a prisoner if you have a job, and that's not true. Your life isn't worth anything if you have a job or if you work for a living. That's not true. You don't need these people and this business to validate you as a human being or as a free person. And just because you're in this business and you're working for your freedom, that makes you absolutely nothing like the men and women who put their actual lives on the line to serve people in our country, whether by like the military or just general daily jobs that have to be done by someone. And people risk it all to do that for people selflessly, with no expect for anything but a paycheck. Surprisingly, it's still something that they're passionate enough about doing. Yeah, it's exhausting listening to these. But yeah, this was kind of an audio where they talked a lot about their lifestyle, and I think I'm going to just cut out a lot of their stories about all the wonderful things that they were able to do with their money and all the places that they were able to travel to and everything like that, because really, nobody cares. Nobody cares. And by the end of your life, nobody really cares if you traveled or if you were able to afford, whatever. It just, nobody cares. You might care, and if it's worth it enough to you, then do that. Travel, make yourself happy. But at the same time, really, I did not want to subject you to an entire audio of them just bragging about how much money they spent on themselves. I don't care. I don't care. Anyway, I love you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in. If you enjoyed it, click the like button. Comment down below. Engagement on these videos are really important. And please subscribe if you haven't already subscribed. I'll see you next week for more MLM stuff, or Sunday for, my own journey of health. Yeah. Okay. Bye.